December 21st, 2012 was quite an amazing time for me. It was what the Mayans call the awakening, the opposite of what the media told us. Start awakening consciously. Start connecting to the real God, not religion, the real self, the real God within. Total chakra, the Washington Monument, that's the symbol of the total chakra. You live in the heart and the mind. You don't live in the eat, sleep, go to work, have sex, pay taxes. It is quite an evil matrix. And you realize when you start studying symbols that Satan is all around you in every facet of your life. He's not just some man out there. He's all around you. And he's possessed the souls of literally every human being. I would say about 88% of the population. People live their lives for football, religion, sex, television, movie stars, fictional deities, and the worst deity of all, money. Money is the most infectious, fictional, green piece of paper with satanic symbols on it that I've ever seen in my life. So I started awakening. Started realizing that all the science fiction movies, there was more truth in the science fiction movies than there was on the television, the local news. It was kind of like their way, the Illuminists, the Illuminati's way of laughing at humanity, mocking and making fun of humanity. Look, here's the real technologies that we have. You're a moron because you think it's fiction. Quite real. And they slowly give you the technologies of their ancient past that they've held from us, while they eugenics your children and slowly poison them until, well, they're completely drone-type mentality, obedient workers with no critical thinking, no consciousness, and no awakening. I don't see many young children, teenagers awakening. It's mostly the elder. And that's why when nations rise against nations, Mao, Stalin, Hitler, you name it, the Nazi parties that exist in America, South Africa, Po, Vietnam, Cambodia, they always killed the smart people first. Get rid of intelligence, and they've been getting rid of intelligence. It's not part of their secret society for so many years. It's beyond anything you can imagine. The crucifixion of Jesus Christ to me was a symbol of an intelligent, awakened conscience, truth-bearing mind, a man who stood by truth and refused to reject truth. His Father was crucified. And the people shouted, "Crucify him! Crucify him!" Yes, the evil masters that run this planet, that a lot of you don't even know about, they make all the decisions for the world. I'm not talking about the Council of Foreign Relations. I'm talking about the real leaders, the bankers, the oil tycoons, that continue this satanic bloodline of kings and queens and satanic worship of war in the name of peace and reality in the name of fiction. And they sell you constantly hate, fear, revenge, suffering, and turn to a counselor or a television deity or rock music or drugs. Or the most popular thing to turn to are the 88% of the people that you hang out with that know nothing about reality. They're living in the evil matrix. And you get bad advice all the time. As long as they keep you from getting on your knees and your tears and praying to the Lord, praying to the stars, praying to the energy of the wireless internet of God and truth. Moses, Noah, Jesus, all sacrifices, all made sacrifices and turned to the Lord through their sacrifices and sufferings. And they all went to the mountains, away from the cities, to contact their God, the real deity. If wireless internets are dirty energy, then God is clean and pure energy. If you can receive data from a wireless internet, digital satellite signal, a satellite, a cell tower, a smart meter radiating you, pumping dirty energy through your body, X and gamma ray radiation, while chemtrails are sheeting the earth so that the radiation doesn't leak out into space and it intensifies to throw you in the hospital administration of the credit app, to where if you're poor, you die by hospice, and if you're rich, you stay in the hospital until all your money has disappeared. I call that Obamacare. You can call it whatever you want. It's just politicians trying to get a cut of the Rothschild dynasty and all the money and the currencies of these psychopathic evil men. And they're willing to keep the secrets, negotiate, and still poison the children. I've warned people about alien invasions. I used to look out amongst the stars and think a planetary alien invader, a hostile invader, is going to come and attack us when I was a child. And what I've learned, if someone is traveling amongst the stars, that they probably have the wisdom of God. Not the wisdom of Satan, the fallen angel, of death, suffering, and eternal darkness. They will have the enlightenment of God. They won't live in our dimension. They'll live in a light dimension. And the only communication we have with them is through the light, truth, through by following the laws of not man, but God. I've said this on other broadcasts. If you want to see an alien invasion, let's take a look at microwave radiation frequencies and Wi-Fi, ultrasonic, infrasonic, chymatical energies that they've invented through Tesla technology. And instead of giving us free energy from the Schumann resonance of the earth, they've made a weapon. Just like the American Indians thought the fire-breathing dragon, they didn't know what it was. That means a gun. And they were shooting bow and arrows while Columbus came and annihilated over 200 million American Indians that inhabited America. Just like they didn't know what the fire-breathing dragon was, the gun, we don't know what microwave radiation and how dangerous it is to the energy resonance of the body. You can power a 300-watt bulb. You are a resonating energy being. That's why when you make love to someone that you love, you feel something that you don't feel before. And it's not an orgasm. It is a feeling of love. That feeling of love is the energies bonding and becoming one. Now, you don't feel that with a prostituting hooker that has a mindless correspondence of a wandering generality of nothingness. You don't feel that, which is the majority of the fake women with the fake boobs and the fake hair and the fake makeup and the fake heels. There is nothing about them that's real. They live their life trying to look like a television set tells them to, when real men are attracted to crooked teeth and crooked smiles and flaws and molds and all kind of things that are cute to them. The remembrance of what a real woman was, not a made-up, painted face like the Egyptians and the Romans. I've never been attracted to that. And everyone that I was attracted to like that became a tyrannical monster demon. As I tried to pull them towards truth, they fought and they fought and they fought, and they saw you as the enemy instead of seeing you as their savior. All you did was try to save them, and all of a sudden the mind-altering television with the mind-altering demons that roam the earth with their money inhabitants and their networks of evil, fear-mongering haters, they convince them that truth is a lie and that a lie is the truth. The upside-down cross, that's why there's stars and horns and 666 on literally every corporation in America. Satanic symbols. Mazda, the rings of Saturn with the owl horns. Walt Disney with 6 in the beginning, 6 in the middle, and 6 in the end, 666. Monster Energy drink, 666, a Hebrew type numerical symbol or a code. As we drink it, what do you think the Lord thinks about you when you're drinking corresponding with poisons? Your symbols on the flag, the 5-pointed star, could be easily turned upside down into the fictional illusion of God. And they can turn it upside down and create Satan. The darkness can be turned into the light. That's why you have red and white. Red for Satan and white for God. The blood will rain down upon the white. Freemasonic, Illuminati, Bilderberg, Rothschild, Rockefeller, Illuminati monsters who hate us. I don't know what to think. When I visited Utah, I saw that they were building one of the largest facilities in the world to surveillance America. Number one, when you go to Utah, they go to wards every week. A ward is a prison. Number two, they worship a fallen angel called Moroni. Number three, their deity is Joseph Smith, which was a Freemason, a high-level Freemason from the bloodline of the Rothschild and Rockefellers. Number four, they own land with Rothschild in Florida. They believe that Jesus is coming to, what do you think, Missouri, the center of the United States. They worship in their golden temples of white, the illusion of God, cows. And they tell their citizens that you can live an eternal life. In the same house that you live in, we can just throw you in a computer program because our city streets are shaped like silicone chips, where the center of the city is Babylon, Babel, the tower. Street 1, Street 2, a grid. The same grid they spray in the air when they spray chemtrails. An electronic grid of mind control. Come to find out, the brain has no firewall. 783 hertz, you send a carrier frequency, and they can control your mind. And if you want to see mind control, extreme low frequencies, ELF, penetrating, literally taking your nervous system and your spinal cord and using it as an antenna, an electronic wave. Go to Utah. They all have blonde hair and blue eyes, just like Nazis' race of Aryans. And if they don't have blonde hair and blue eyes, they're wearing fake blue eyes and they're wearing fake blonde hair, so that they can be like the church tells them to be. And when the president says do jumping jacks, they all do jumping jacks like a robotic mind control being. Now they're going to surveillance America because the church has taught them to hate America. They don't like black people. They don't like brown people. They only like their own people. As soon as they walk up to you, they say, what ward are you from? What prison? The fictional reality tells them. They say, well, I'm from Ward 26 or maybe 666. I don't know. Wonder if that ward exists. And they determine whether they're going to be your friend based on what ward you're from. Gangs, men battling men, and they despise every religion out there. They're the opposite of God. God teaches to have a relationship with Him, and He teaches truth. And everyone is welcome, black, white, brown. It doesn't matter what country you're from, what color. We are all God's children. And we're all being deceived. An alien invader. Money. You want to see an alien invasion? Look in your wallet. You live your life working, playing for something that doesn't really exist, a fiat currency. It's not real. They can say tomorrow on the news that $1 is worth 0 and you have nothing. Your house is worth 0. And the only thing that you want is food and water. Real resources. If you want to see a godlike man, look at a person who takes care of cattle and animals. A farmer. If you want to see a godlike man, watch a man take a seed, grow it, reproduce it, harvest it, take care of the land and the soil like it was his own, like it was a gift from a God above, and he has a duty. Now, the insurance companies are coming to the farmers saying, hey, we have to insure your crop, but we want you to use these pesticides. Forcing them on the pesticides, forcing their cows to be shot up with chemicals. An alien invasion of our cows, our chickens, our pigs. Viruses creating in a lab by Mr. H.A.A.R.P and Rockefeller. And the media covers it up. Hidden truth, hidden lies, cover-ups after cover-up, after prostitution, media paid liars. I don't think there's anything worse today than someone who works in media or Hollywood. And they know it. That's why they paid these people a pretty good income and gave them a famous life, because they knew during the New World Order that they would be the most hated people on the planet when people become awakened. People will realize that these people have been deceiving them for hundreds of years. Hollywood. As our children have been taught to seek Hollywood, the opposite, the upside down cross, the opposite of our truth. When God says, be like a tree, reach for the light every day of your life. Our medical industry says, be like a tree, but we're going to strangle the tree with the serpent. Doctors have become, instead of natural healers, pill-pushing, low-paid drug dealers. I say low-paid because Tony Montana would be very disappointed in the amount of money that a doctor makes killing our children's minds, hearts, souls, and bodies. Giving injections to our children at birth that dormant their ability for their teeth to grow back. Turning amazing, luminous DNA into junk DNA in the name of immunity. A fictional reality. It's not immunity at all. It's kind of like saying war equals peace. I have never seen war equal peace, and I have never seen an immune shot help a child. I've seen the immune shot give the child the disease, and as the chemtrails fly and the poisons in the foods are fed to the children, they're constantly battling the poisons. Their life expectancy went from the days of Noah, from 1,000 years to barely 60 years. Men are dying of heart attacks in their 40s and 30s now. Autism is up 10,000%. And the dentist with the symbol of the serpent strangling the tree of life, a pyramid, and the rings of Saturn have been poisoning our children like robotic drones in the school of Rockefeller for many, many years. Why are not these alien invaders in prison? Why are not they locked up? Because if I were to take poison and give it to a children, then I would be imprisoned. First of all, I couldn't even bear the thought. Second of all, I couldn't do it. My conscience wouldn't allow me. But these people who have their titles called dentists will poison children because that's what the masters tell them to do. And they give injections and they don't know what's in the shots, just like a doctor. And they give pills and they don't know what's in the pills. They trust pharma corporations, and pharma corporations are nothing but alien invader oil corporations, sucking Mother Earth dry of her natural resources. Oil belongs in the ground. It creates photosynthesis for the plants. It creates gases important for the green leaves of the trees. Everything that's in the earth belongs in the earth, whether it's gold, silver, lithium. It doesn't matter. It belongs in the earth to grow seeds so that our children's children's children can live without slavery and be free. Right now, we have an 800% incarceration rate increase in the past 20 years in our prisons. The globalist bankers create more and more laws against God's laws, imprisoning our men so as when the New World Order hits to drone strike the prisons, it's an easy target. And all the brave-hearted men are in prison. And as the wives who put their husbands in prison mostly are going to scream, "Where is my husband to protect my children?" You ate the apple, and he is in prison because of your hate and your revenge and your suffering without turning to God. You turn to the police, and you turn to the fictional laws of the maritime courts. You crossed and entered the gate of the maritime ship of England, Rothschild and Rockefeller's fictional laws, and you incarcerated your husband with lies, tricks, and deceptions, influenced by a lawyer who is also getting paid to lie, trick, and deceive. This is an alien invasion. Go to Utah and see their copper mine. Go take a look at Oppenheimer's diamond mines. Go take a look at the Denver airport, how they're building facilities underground to hide and to hoard food. Your government hoarding food without the public's notice. They hoard food and they hoard water and they tap into deep, deep, deep aquifers that the fracking poison toxins that used to use sand and water now use over 70 toxic chemicals and poisons so that they can control the water. Already in Ohio, people are calling the government for water because Lake Erie, they claim, has a green algae. Well, let me tell you, it's not a green algae, my friend. It is a green algae. It is called dead zone. It is a dead zone. There is no oxygen in the water. Therefore, there is no nutrients in the water. It is poisoned and toxins, not by the farmers, but by the insurance companies and the banks who force the farmers to put the pesticides in the soils. And mostly, even above and beyond the pesticides, now it is our chemtrails that people think is a conspiracy theory. You actually see a plane flying, leaving a trail, and it spreads out into what they call a chemical cloud, a metal particulate cloud of aluminum, fluoridated aluminum. Chemical toxic soup that we don't even know what's in it. It could be mosquito eggs and viruses. They can spray us with anything because they green screen the movies and they put chemtrails in to make the children think that this is something that happened in the past, and it's not. The trails dissipated in seconds, and now they stay there for hours at night. It is a nanotechnology, thousands times smaller than a human hair. It can never be filtered out of the Earth's surface of the waters. While the globalists dig deep, deep, deep into aquifers hidden deep underground, and they have their pure water, enough water to last tens of thousands of years. They've done this deliberately so that they can have power and control and be gods over men. Mythology is coming to life. History is repeating itself. Everything that's happening today, read Luke chapter 21. Men are turning against men. Even your own mother will deny you. All the disciples denied Jesus as he stood by the Lord. If you stand by the Lord, you are the enemy of the states, the country, the government, and you are gang stalked, tracked, surveillanced, and you become a targeted individual that can't fly and can't travel. They even, when you go to the hospital, have an alliance with the hospitals to inject nanotechnology in you to track you. They target these individuals. I've had 5 death attempts on my life. Something called an infrasonic, an ultrasonic heart attack weapon that they can shoot you with, and you die in your sleep. What do you say, a peaceful death? No. I say they're getting rid of the people who have a conscience. There's no doubt in my mind that I have a conscience beyond most people. There's no doubt in my mind that the Lord talks back to me. There's no doubt in my mind everything that I've said was truth and can be backed up with facts. And the kook and the quack and the conspiracy theorists and the name calling, they could even call you a terrorist and Patriot Act you and indefinitely arrest you. Remember Hitler, everything he did was legal. He took the people out in the field. He convinced the nation that they were diseased and that they needed to die, and the nation supported him, and he killed millions upon millions. We don't even know the body count. He dug a big giant hole and shot them. Now our bullets that we defend ourselves have tracking technology, number 1. Number 2, they only last a few years. Just enough time for them to keep us silent. Yes, they're coming for your guns through your water and through your food. And they're coming through your guns through your media. You will have no way of defending yourself, just like all the TV medias that you saw. As the television media, the bankers supported Israel. Israel was a war machine killing Palestine, Afghanistan, Iran, and Iraq. And they used the United States military to support them. They called them allies. Yes, allies of darkness. Darth Vader had allies. So did the alien invaders of Avatar. They had allies. But they weren't godlike. They were darkness. You got to make up your mind whether you are a dark alien invader or you're of the light. God exists. He's very real. He created you. And what's happening is you have men that are trying to reverse engineer God. They hate God. They can't stand him because their egos are so large with money, hate, and fear that who would you not hate except the Almighty Creator, the only person that stands in your way of dictating the planet, becoming a ruler of the world. Of course, they love that red man with the horns. They replace God's energy, Schumann resonance of 783 to 11 hertz, with dirty energies of chymatical frequencies that can stop your heart, just like a stun gun from Star Trek. It can immobilize you temporarily to where they can throw you in a van, bring you underground, and experiment on you. 2,600 people per day go missing, and the number is rising. Scientists that know about geoengineering, weather warfare, weather modification, weather engineering, chemtrails, aerosol spraying, aerosol dumping, air crap. Call it whatever name you want, but these scientists are disappearing and they're trying to tell you the truth. And the globalists own the medias and they're murdering them by train crashes, plane flights, and they're blaming their allies. Yes, Rothschild has partnerships with Russia. They own oil rights, united, combined. You need to read and educate yourself. If you want to know what sexy is, it is a intelligent brain. You can throw all the makeup on you want and all the high heel shoes and the fake hair, and you men out there that are trying to be like women on the media, talking about Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, we don't want to hear your lies anymore. And you need to start being a man. The media wants you to act like a woman. The other day I saw a 6'4" black man with broad shoulders acting and talking like a woman. What is wrong with you, sir? God created you to be a warrior of tyranny. And you choose the dark side. To brag about Angelina Jolie while children are dying all over the planet, being drone striked and bombed. Men are being falsely incarcerated. Women are being manipulated by gang stalkers. And neighbors now are spying on neighbors in America. It is sick and disgusting. It is quite the alien invasion. Not only of our bodies and our planet, but our minds. The opposite of everything that you know on TV is reality. When they say a man is a racist, he is the opposite. It is a war against consciousness. Michael Jackson and Elvis, they did a lot of damage to this earth. And when they tried to heal the planet and fix what they broke, they got a conscience, kind of like JFK, Martin Luther King, RFK, Malcolm X, conscience-minded men who tried to steer the planet in the right direction. Elvis and Michael were killed by the serpent. The medical industry, forced into conforming when they wanted to speak the words of truth. Elvis sung gospel music, and Michael Jackson sung about the crying earth. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, and the man in the mirror. Listen to the lyrics of Elvis and Michael as they became an awakened conscious being. You see, it's not just December 21st, 2012 that people awaken. I do believe the sun and the earth travel through the universe in the Milky Way galaxy in a circular motion. And every day we move closer to the center. That's what the Mayan calendar is. That's what love is in a relationship. You take Aquarius and Virgo and you put them together and they become one into the center. That's what true love is. But nowadays, true love has been redefined. People think true love is the size of a man's chest and penis, or the height of a woman, or how large her boobs are, or how tight her behind is, or what type of clothes she has, how she fits into society, how popular she is with the world. God says popularity with the world is the enemy of God. God says you cannot serve two masters, money or God. You have to serve one. You have to choose money or God. You can't serve both. And I would say 90% of the population serve both. They say and they boast and they brag and they say, I went to church on Sunday. Church is a separation from God, my friend. It is four walls that teaches you the opposite of reality. They don't talk about chemtrails, fracking, poisoning the water. They don't talk about the New World Order. They don't talk about secret societies. And they're a member of it. They don't talk about the ancient secrets that are hidden in vaults. And they sit on thrones in white temples with wealth and money while people are starving to death. They have more money than some of the wealthiest people in the world. And they don't get it from donations, my friend. They get it from wealthy bankers because it is a form of conformity, misinformation, a guidance of untruth in the name of truth. That's why they wear white robes instead of black when they're at the higher authorities of their religions. That's why they call themselves presidents and bishops and modern day prophets. And they sit in the number 12, the same number that Jesus had, the 12 cycles, the 12 hours on a clock, the 12 months of the year, the 12 signs of the zodiac. the Mayan and the Chinese calendar. 12 is their number. They pretend like they're teaching you truth in God. And it's all a trick and a deception to keep you controlled, to keep you in the lower chakra. Eat, sleep, go to work, have sex, pay taxes. And once you pass their management tests, and they're aware that you have a consciousness, so you become a targeted individual. You cannot fly. You cannot have a job. The IRS attacks you. All their organizations. IRS is not even owned by America. It is a foreign nation corporation. And people are awakening to it. AIPAC has financed the Israeli army, and they're building an army larger than the United States. Now the banks are trying to come between us and GM and Chrysler and Ford, the American car manufacturers, where we make weapons if we need to defend ourselves. Bailout and faulty devices and lawsuits. They're lawsuing all over the television. You see, sue this company. They caused this virus, because they're not part of the New World Order agenda. So they use their courts. They created the courts. Your name is capitalized. You were a slave in 1933. And in 1913, they committed Mr. Wilson to giving a monetary system to a foreign world banker organization of criminals. And debt is their weapon. And interest is the way that they become kings. Read about the LIBOR scandal, how they controlled not only your criminal records in the courts, they created the courts. The gate that you cross is a maritime ship, and the judge has a black robe and the hammer of Osiris. He judges mankind when God says, "Thou shalt not judge," and he throws stones and he mocks and he laughs at people to create an illusion that man's laws are the law, and for you to forget about God's laws. And the nation is rising against its own self, because man's laws exist in your mind, in your heart, in your body. All you got to do is connect with self, connect with the heart, connect with the upper chakra, the blue and the purple colors of illuminous beings, Gnostic beings. Find out who you are. You're an amazing creature. One split atom and you have an atomic bomb. You have tens of thousands of atoms within your body. You are made of stardust and water are two molecules that come together as one to form life. Eyes cannot see when they're separate. Hydrogen and oxygen cannot be seen with the eye when they're separated. They're in a different dimension, but when they come together as one, they form life. And we can see it in the visual spectrum of the visual energies that exist in our visual chymatical vibration world. Life, love, harmony, freedom. We have to be free. How do we choose God freely if we don't have freedom? If we don't have freedom, then there is no God. Freedom is a must. Slavery is the enemy, is Satanism. And you are a slave, my friend. Have you seen your job lately, how you work and you pay taxes, consume everything that you make? Some people live at about 120% of their income that is outgoing. Some of you live at about 99%. Some of you live at 95%. But it doesn't matter. You're not saving any money. You don't even own your house. The Rothschild and Rockefellers own your house through title corporations and states. They create debt in the states. They attack them with weather warfare. I've been through Katrina. It was nothing but a globalist attempt, weather modification, weather warfare, H.A.A.R.P, and geoengineering, spraying chemtrails, and moving metal particulates around. NASA and Mississippi are making clouds. They're creating clouds with a giant jet engine. And there's all kinds of chemicals in the clouds. And they're raining upon us. They can make rain. This is very real. It might seem like a fictional illusion, but if you are laughing and you're joking and you're making fun of my words, I promise you, you are upside down. My words are truth, and they can be backed up with facts. And if you laugh without doing the research, then you are a complete wandering generality that lives in the realm of hate and fear and suffering. We can all break away from it. We can all choose right now. Love over money. Love over hate and fear. God over money. Oneness over separation. What is wrong with this world that neighbors hate neighbors? I went to the market the other day and I watched people trade their produce. They grow in the soil, their own seeds, and they sell it on Saturdays in a market and they trade it. It reminds me of how the world was once one. And people unite and they form relationships and they trade their goods. One makes jelly, the other one sells cucumbers and corn. And they separate themselves from GMOs and genetically modified foods. And they organically grow it. Well, chemtrails is going to put a stop to that, my friend. Nanotechnology gets in the seed. People are spraying their ditches with poisons to kill the weeds. Well, that stays in the water systems for all of eternity. And the only thing that's going to heal Mother Earth is a giant deluge again. What will God do? Will he destroy the planet again? Because he has no choice. Mankind has left him no choice. Will Mother Earth fight back when she's being raped, pillaged, alien invaded, oil being sucked, her blood, her water, her real blood is being poisoned? She is a living planet, and the trees prove that she's alive. Schumann has a resonance of 783 hertz. The same resonance in your mind is the same resonance of the earth. It's how the birds fly north and south through the latitude and the high energy lines of the planet. It's where the pyramids were located in the ancients and how they tried to ascend. If you look at a pyramid from above, you see the cross of Jesus Christ. They don't want to tell you what the pyramids are. They were energy emitting beings, people trying to transform themselves to the center of the universe. To live in a dimension of oneness. But the black hole in the center of the Milky Way galaxy is not a black hole. It is the light of oneness, where the planets, the suns, the stars, the moons, and all the energies of all the earths and the living creatures come together as one. That's heaven, my friend. We are nothing but energy. When you understand energy, you'll understand death is not a mourning, but a celebration of an opportunity to arise towards the light. But if you don't choose the light on earth and you don't know the difference between truth and lies, how will you choose the light when you're tempted for 3 days by the real Satan physically and his crew in a dimension that you're not even used to living in? And you will be afraid and you'll live in fear. If you live in fear on this planet, then you live in fear when you die. You see, men like us don't fear death. That's why we do these videos, because we know we're being tracked and surveillanced. I've already had 5 attempts. Just last night there was an attempt on my life by a direct energy weapon. My neighbors have been convinced that I'm a bad person by secret societies that are so brainwashed I feel sorry for them. It's sickening. I say forgive them, for they don't know, but their children will feel the same fate that they're brushing upon other men. Their records will be changed as well. I've never harmed anyone in my life. They control your work history, they control your criminal record, and they control your credit report. And those things are combined now on the police records. And they can write anything they want. They put people in your lives to destroy your lives so that there's witnesses. But these people have committed fraud, and they deliberately came into your life as gang stalkers to just hurt you, deliberately, destroy you, make you want to kill yourself. Why would you hurt your brother? The people that you need to defend your planet, the people that would die for your children. You're harming them based on a banker record that was created and edited. It's not real. Just like Jesus Christ, they screamed, crucify him. They screamed the opposite of reality. They should scream, King, you are the King. And they should have taken the King out and replaced him with Jesus Christ. I don't think Jesus should have died. I think he should have lived and lived on to be a real king, a real leader. God creates leaders by the stars and the constellations. They know this. And they gang stalk these children for a whole life. I was born on the cusp of Aquarius and Pisces. It's the constellation that we're in right now. We just moved from Pisces to Aquarius. As the sun travels around the Milky Way galaxy, we're in that constellation. The constellation that I was born in. The constellation that I will die in. That is your center. That is your cross. That's what modern day prophets are. That's the real prophets based on the stars. Why do you think all the Egyptian kings wanted to go to the stars and they had stars named after them? The stars are the energy. They're a reflection of your conscience. That's you. What you see is your consciousness. You can create either a light consciousness or a darkness consciousness. It's up to you. I'm watching here New World Order, a fake alien invasion, Star Wars alien invasion, UFOs, aliens invade the earth, resource, wars, the alien invasion, dreams come true, Tea Party, illegal aliens, oh, that shouldn't be there, Q&A about alien invasion. It's all over. But the aliens are not foreign, my friend. Aliens are domestic. And they're the wealthy kings, the same people who murdered Jesus Christ, and the same people who are controlling your mind with the media. They're here. What happened when that little girl said, they're here? Well, they are here. They're creating red rum, blood. They're very, very bad people. They're fallen angels. They're fallen humanity. People who chose darkness and live in eternal darkness. Vampires. Live and breathe right now. That's why UFOs are so secretive, because it is a giant deception, a lie. The real alien are your men in the political and Hollywood. Those are your aliens. Those are your invaders. Those are your liars, your deceivers. They're raping Mother Earth, and Mother Earth is going to fight back. And she's fighting back right now. You are under attack right now, your children. Look up. You're being sprayed by chemtrails, fracking. And the most dangerous thing that I know of is microwave radiation frequency, Wi-Fi, cell towers, 240 volt microwave ovens on your house. Dirty energy has been invading us, alien-like. I'm going to discontinue the broadcast. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have a comment, please leave a comment. I don't do this for money. I do this for love. And I love you all. And I pray to God that you awaken consciously. And that maybe one word that I said might awaken you. Maybe one word. God bless.